All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order. First of all, I need to apologize. I had carotid artery surgery and they screwed up my nerves. So now I sound like I have a speech impediment and will for probably 3 to 6 months. Very special, very special. Actually, Donald Duck and I are gonna work together. Okay.
Got humor about it.
Oh, you got either that or you break down and cry.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things we need to get out of here no later than 6:15 because we have a Zoom meeting for the school district tonight. And I want to make sure that we all can get home and get on. Right, Steve?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. All right, so first thing is any corrections, deletions, or additions to the minutes of May 13th.
Big motion, accept the minutes.
We're gonna have to go. Where'd he go? He's not there, so we're.
Yeah, he may be there.
Well, no, he's not.
There he is.
All right, so we're gonna have to go roll call vote because Paul is on Zoom. Julie? Yes. Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Paul? Voting on the minutes. Paul? Hello? I'm gonna let that go.
Yes, muted.
It's all right. I'm not gonna deal with it. Okay, just so you know. There was a request by Mr. Rembo to grant an easement. And he can just read do
it. Good afternoon. For your record, Chris Rembo, Assistant Town Manager, Town Planner. So town meeting approved the grant of an easement over the corner of the Houstonic Park to serve for the underground utilities from Meadow Street to the Houstonic, former Houstonic School that's being redeveloped. This is an area that already has sewer and drain easements. And then the folks who are doing the school renovations to convert it into residential, like to put their electrical under there as well. The utilities are there, but we've never needed an easement from ourselves since we owned all the property. But now that the Houstonic School property is separate, they are requesting an easement to run those utilities through that corner of what is technically the parkland. So we're asking for your approval. We have town meeting approval. We're asking for your approval to grant, and then we'll go to the select board for select.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, Mr.
He's unmuted.
No, he's not.
He was.
Yes. Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Aye.
Sir Debbie?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Steve? Karen, yes. Paul? I'm just gonna go with it because it will make a difference anyway. Great.
Madam Chair, would
Yeah.
you mind, since you're all here, if I sent this around and you could all sign it?
We'll all sign it, that's fine.
I'll put
Oh,
the
that costs
signature
you
page
extra.
right on the top.
That's $20.
That cost you extra.
Okay. Joe can come.
Yes.
Yes, thank also. Park Street they needed to change the date because of weather. Joe called me, they wanted to go from the 20th to the 21st or whatever, because they had a chance for rain. There's a provision in the parking rack that normally the town manager and the chair could make that call, except the town manager was in Greece. So Mr. Aberdale and Ms. Smith said that was fine. Does anybody have any problem?
We had already approved it.
You'd already approved it, just a date change. Okay? Any concerns or issues with that? Okay. Festival Latino. Is anybody here for them? I don't think so. No.
Just raise your hand if you are.
Angela,
There you go.
there she is. Go ahead, Angela, let her rip.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm with the Festival Latino of the Berkshires, and we'd just like to host our event in your downtown Green Park behind the town hall and use the town hall parking spaces on September 28th, 2024, with your permission, of course.
We've done it in the past.
We've done it in the past. Is there anything special like food trucks? Have you been in touch with the Board of Health? Have you done all that?
Yes, we do everything to the book with the Board of Health. And there was no food trucks last year. As of right now, there's no official food trucks that have signed up with us for this year. But if anything changes, I would obviously be in touch with both you and the health board to make sure that they're up to code. But all of our food servers typically use the Serve certification during the event, which is pretty standard, I think, in Massachusetts for festivals and to serve food at events.
Any questions, concerns, or issues for anybody on the board?
Just notify St. James.
Have you talked to St. James, Angela?
Yes, we work with St. James. We're contracted with them because we use their theater as well. So we rent the space, so everything is kosher. Yeah, everything's in check.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We'll do a roll call vote. All those in favor, Mr. Gibbons. Mr. Gibbons, you need to vote. Never mind. Alana?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Karen, yes. Okay, we're good.
Thank you so much.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Next one's Chris.
Chris? Thanks, I'm go, sir.
Your pen?
Pen goes there.
I think this is Debbie. No, I'm not sure. Love Nathan. Yeah, this is Alliance for a Viable Future. Using the Town Hall Park from the 13th from the 11 to 3:30 for the Indigenous Peoples' Day celebration. Lev, would
yes.
you like to go for it? Explain.
Hi, yes, thank you so much. Yeah, my organization has been hosting and producing this event since 2021. We, using the Town Hall Park and then also Memorial Field. We end the walk at the Memorial Field.
No.
So
No. There's none of that. You cannot use Memorial Field for any of this.
Okay.
It's just not
All right.
ready.
Well,
It's
we
not
could just.
ready. You can end it
October.
across the street, but we're not gonna have all sorts of people stomping all over that brand new field. We're not even ready yet. This is in October, but we're not letting anybody access that field at this point until we've gotten a sign off.
Okay, well, that
from
was fine.
the
Yeah,
vendor.
last year that was also the case, and we made an agreement with the Railroad Street Youth Project just to use the basketball court, so we can just finish at the. So that doesn't have anything to do with you. So we'll just focus on the Town Hall Park, behind the Giggle
So
Park.
just so you understand, love, the basketball court, which I think is great for you to use.
Yeah.
They don't give permission. It's our court.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think we went over this last year, and I made the same mistake. Okay, well then I can ask you, could we use the basketball court instead of the
hold
baseball
on, just
field?
stop. Where is your insurance certificate?
The insurance, we send it in before the event. It's being processed for this year.
Okay, so everything we will do will be on the proviso that you have that insurance. I would like that more than a month in advance, please.
Absolutely. I'm working with the a new insurance. We usually use Wheeler and Taylor, but we're switching, and I'm in conversation already. So it should be done by the end of the month. So I can send that to you, first week in July.
Good. And you couldn't have gotten approval. We didn't have this problem with Memorial Field last year because they hadn't started construction.
Yeah, they were going.
They were going to, so whatever. So you end up in the parking lot, that's fine. Absolutely not a problem. But
You mean on the basketball court, you mean?
if you want to use the basketball courts, that's our purview to make that decision, not Railroad Street.
I think he's asking.
So that's what I'm asking. I'm asking you right
I
now.
understand that, but the problem is I don't have a document. I don't have an app in front of me saying, let's do it this way. I'm just taking.
Well, do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah, let's go
So
for
I'll
that.
make a motion to approve the use of Town Hall Park and the basketball courts behind Railroad Street Youth. depending on our receipt of an insurance document.
And the new parks usage request that has both
Updated.
town hall and the basketball courts.
Yeah, like we need an updated parks usage request form, okay, that lists all the detail. How many people?
Absolutely.
is it gonna be? Okay, because I don't know why we don't have it, but we don't.
Okay, so I'll update that from Memorial Field to the basketball courts, and I think all the amounts of people is the same on, but I'll just update that one thing.
I want an updated form so we can look at it. The next meeting is the August 19th. Okay, I'm sorry, in July 15th.
So
Okay.
you want me to come back for the next meeting?
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to submit the form to Carolyn and just to make sure we've got all of our ducks in a row.
Okay,
Okay,
so
no big
I'll
deal.
I'll put the basketball court and then I'll have the insurance by then.
Right, and I would also give Road Street a heads up so they know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're usually in conversation with them.
Okay, so we can, I think we can call a vote on this unless there are other questions, concerns, or issues. Okay. Paul, are you there? Can you vote on this?
Yes.
Oh, good. Julie?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
So Debbie?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Karen? Yes. Good, unanimous.
Also me.
And Alana, sorry.
I think you were looking in the other direction. I was confused. There was another Steve.
Yeah, well, that's why it goes. Okay, Berkshire bust. So it's only 3 dates?
Yes, that's correct. How are you?
Hi, Carly.
So the 3 dates in question are just the days that we need to utilize the gazebo space, as we have in previous years. 2 are musical performances, and 1 is a new thing that we're trying with the Triplex Cinema, in which we'll be doing an outdoor movie showing on the 29th.
So on this, it does not have AMs or PMs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So they're all in the evening. So 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. for the musical performances and 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. for the movie showing.
Have you
That's
been
it.
in touch with St. James?
I haven't been in touch with St. James. I can check with them. I have confirmed, however, with the Mahawi that there will be no programming that we will be interfering with at that time.
Yeah, you need to check with St. James too, please.
Okay, absolutely.
You need to do that ASAP, because we're gonna give you provisional approval, because the first is the 29th of June.
Motion to approve, assuming St. James doesn't have it.
How about insurance? Where's your insurance, Berkshire bus?
We've received confirmation from Mark Pruhensky that this will fall under the town's insurance.
All right, good enough. Any other questions, concerns, or issues? We have a motion?
Yes.
Second?
Second.
Julie?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
So Debbie? Terry?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Karen? Yes. Alana?
Yes.
Paul? Okay, we'll go with it.
Thank you.
Forgot it.
Thank you.
Mr. Remble, I believe this next one is you.
Yes.
Yes. Let it rip, Lake Mansfield.
The Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force, Bill Meyer, eminent representative from the Parks Commission, has been discussing how to welcome folks back to Lake Mansfield Beach Recreation Area whenever he opens, July 1st. We were thinking about an event on July 7th, which is a Sunday, just to say, hey, we're open, come have some refreshments with us, enjoy the space. We would actually like to push that back to the 14th, because there's no way that the organizers will be ready to do it. The park will be open.
Well, why don't you pick your day that you want?
July 14th is what we'd like to
Okay.
do.
Did everybody get the picture of what Lake Man? First of all, we have to thank Mr. Captain Amerdale, because he is now the drone pilot. Oh, was that him?
Oh, that was right. Go for it.
Yeah, if you notice all the drone shots, the drone shot of Lake Mansfield is unbelievable, as well as Memorial Field. Thank you very much.
The Lake Mansfield is
Awesome.
going spectacularly well as is the credit to the contractors and good weather.
The roadway done, the path, the pedestrian path,
The paving's done.
the asphalt?
Yes.
Just look at the picture. It
didn't come through.
you can get the picture?
Didn't open.
2 more weeks, you'll be able to go experience it yourself.
You can go walk it out.
Thank you for putting the fencing up on the beach too.
Thank Joe.
Joe,
Jay, that was great.
I had a question, just
go ahead, Tom.
information. So from the picture of the paved roadway, right? There's a couple little like bump outs.
Mhm.
I'm just not sure what those are designated, those areas are designated for.
They're intended to just be stopping areas for folks in wheelchairs or strollers, a place to get to the edge, to fish from.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Sort of like a little sitting area or a little,
Yeah, 2
Whatever.
of those areas have.
it doesn't
backwards.
block the whole path for people that are going
Right.
by.
2 of those areas have backwards benches, 2 of those areas are free.
Thank you.
Perfect. So we're gonna go with an amended July 14th. Motion,
I'll second.
second, any discussion? None. Mr. Gibbons, would you like to support this?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Luana, Steve,
Yes.
Terry, so Debbie,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bill, Julie,
Yes.
Karen, yes, it's unanimous.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your night.
Thanks,
Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Holy mother of God. Thank you. Mr. Aberdale, I believe it's your turn.
So Houstonic Playground, where you have an electrical service going in there, that actually the pole just got set last week, I think. So it was very technical services, there's gonna be internet there, so eventually there'll be a camera for the police department too. So that's going on. Memorial Field, a lot of activity. I try to keep you guys in the loop with what's going on picture wise. We're just about at substantial completion. We're missing a set of bleachers, and some handrails and things like that. The sod's being taken care of rather well.
They're watering it to death, which is exactly what they need.
I need it, it's really
Yeah.
dry.
They also have, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, you and I talked about, they have a 60-day babysitting.
Yeah.
They're responsible for 60 days to make sure that's taken care of.
Yes, there's 2 levels of warranty. There's a 60-day growing period, which they're responsible for all the watering and maintenance and fertilizing, and they own 2 mowings. We'll do the other mowings. So that kicks off with an inspection by myself and Foresight. I engaged Tom Ingersoll and Chip Paul to walk it with us, so we can get the green thumb aspect and the baseball aspect covered rather well too. And that will happen. That will kick off the 60 days, and then we walk it again after 60 days.
Is there still some fence work that has to be done?
So there is some
Minor.
work done at the end. You see the posts.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for a cost. As you see, the new fence coming to behind the dugout is black, and then it goes to silver from there down to the corner. I'm waiting for a change order to a cost to put black fabric on it. So might take the fabric down, we'll paint the post and rail, put a black fabric on it.
Makes sense, totally.
So it's just so it doesn't look patchwork.
Yeah.
The outfield fence will stay silver. Any questions?
You weren't here, but do we have a maintenance plan for the walking trail, which would normally just be the outfield, but the whole thing? Because the last time we put that in, it was good for like a year and then weeds grew in it. Is there a way you're gonna keep this up?
Yeah, so, what we're trying to do with the buildings and grounds group is institute a regular program for the vinegar solution. We're buying the commercial grade vinegar, rock salt. We spray it in the spring of the year to catch anything from growing, and then once or twice through the season.
Right, I knew you'd have an answer.
So that's what we plan to do with that walking trail too. In a few years, it might need to be edged. or
Right.
something like that, because it will keep trying to grow in.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Memorial Field?
Yeah, what do we?
Question.
Go
Karen,
ahead, Paul. No,
Joe, what's the status of the mound?
It's all taken care of.
it's fixed.
All right, thank you very much.
So,
Has there been a review with the participating leagues about what their responsibilities are gonna be once? When do you plan on that happening?
I assume they have a parks request in for approval for use for the year.
We haven't gotten anything from them yet, but I think we may wanna just not force the issue, but bring it up and say, okay, guys, looks like, you know, Tom wants to start like, I think July 27th is his first game.
Yeah, they had one game that was the end of June, which I.
No.
No, wasn't quite right for it.
No.
So I can reach out to them, you know, because they, at minimum, they should get a parks request into you.
I'd like a parks request, and I'd like to sit down and figure out what we're gonna do, Momo, after they're done, after the, you know, vendor's done. And what they're gonna do and what we're gonna do, so we have it all laid out nicely, so everybody, there's no confusion as to who's doing what and what responsibility.
I'll reach out.
If you'd be so kind, I'd appreciate that.
Is this a similar situation as what happens at the Olympian Meadows, like where the Little League takes care of it? So now, what is the organization that's gonna take the Millers or?
The Millers and Babe Ruth. Those are the two. So Chip, who has also built the dugouts down at Olympia Meadows, who also runs the Babe Ruth, and then Tom Ingersoll, who runs the Millers, the adult male wooden bat league. They're gonna be
the main users.
The main users and the main whatever. We also, I will tell you, we got a request from a semi-pro baseball league that wanted to give us money to use this field. And I got that, and I was like, my kids in hell, so I sent it to both the guys, and they're like, no, we want our own field for at least a year or two before we let anybody else on it. I thought it was very fair. So we're not gonna entertain a semi-pro league until our guys have had a time to use that, because they've been screwed out of it for so long. But this league isn't even really set up yet, so it's sort of like a pipe dream, looking for places to play. Just to keep you guys in the loop.
The last, just so you know, before you slide, so the last time I met with the semi-pro who wanted to use another field, one of their conditions was, in order to break even, was to sell liquor. Beer and wine and liquor, and so you could put a stop to that.
Well, the other thing, the guy said, we really want to put in a home run fence. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not, sorry, it's nice of you to visit, but.
I think it'd be exciting to do, but
I think it would be exciting to do, but I would really like our guys
Yes,
to get a season or two under their belt before we say, oh, goody, let's have another league here, you know? So.
Well, I didn't hear what you said, a home run fence?
Yeah.
So there isn't one there right now?
I think he wanted another type of, I don't know what the hell he wanted. I don't know whether he wanted higher or deeper, or I have no idea. I don't know.
Because,
whether
I
he
mean,
wanted
there's
to
a
put up
fence
the
all
green.
around it.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, I did not want to entertain, I did not want to give him a start down the snowplow, because I thought if we did, it would be problematic. And when I talked to Tom about it and Chip Paul, they were as adamant as they could be, polite, saying, no. Just letting you know.
Memorial Field and Skate Park, we have water fountains ordered for those, so we should see them in a few weeks, but Memorial Field's been prepped for it, much. Grove Street, you've probably seen the pictures that I sent y'all about what we're doing up there. Awesome. Making headway, trying to fit it in.
There was a email, excuse me, from the neighbors that they believe that the benches are splintery, so Joe's put they will stain and get those smoothed out, but they have had a lot to do getting the installation in first.
Yeah, so I have that list on our annual list about standing benches, so all the ones we built last year should be, we needed them to dry out before we stand them, but they're dried out.
Right, they're trees.
We'll get-
Right, great, perfect, thank you.
Belcher Square, trolley park, I guess. We installed new sidewalks, we made the trolley center handicap accessible by putting sidewalk all around it. The contractor we had in town actually finished the floor of the trolley shelter, we overlaid it, they hand tooled it and colored it to make it look somewhat historic.
Nice.
I sat in it for 3 days and never got a trolley to come out at all.
You just didn't know how to whistle, Karen. You need to know how to whistle for the trolley. There's a special whistle.
We have a garden to be put in there, which is on the list, it's just not the priority right now. McAllister Park, which I know is not under your purview, but we has a road work to do up there, so we actually created some parking off the edge of the road for about 6 to 10 cars. We might do some signage up there just to get people to use it.
Yeah, it's great.
Garden renovations, Stanley Park, Woozy Dome, and Newsboy are the other parks that, or the other gardens they're trying to do this year. Actually, you'll probably see some activities start at Stanley Park tomorrow morning. We're gonna edge it all out and dig it out. We're gonna clean the monuments on Wednesday, and then we'll start the garden work.
Is that from the lady?
Yeah, we used actually some of her money to buy the plants.
Oh, nice, good.
Um,
This is somebody's great granddaughter.
Right.
William Stanley's great granddaughter.
So the labor is us, so we're not gonna take her money to pay for our labor, but we just use it for.
Material,
Yeah.
that's great.
Joe, Castronova Park. Has there always been that marble, that cement stone that says Castronova Park, or is that new there?
No, it was up top.
Okay, it's down, been moved down the
Yeah.
bottom.
I know, I saw it the other day.
I saw the other day, I said, boy, I'm not very observant, how long has that been there?
No, it's actually up top, and the guys decided to move it down so people could see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it worked.
Yes, I saw it. And there was no accident, I was driving, it was okay.
And Lake Mansfield, Kristen talked about it, so I think we're good. Just going back to item 4 under parks usage request. So Carolyn's made that list. And we'll try to attach it to like 80 minutes every month, so this way here, you know how over food.
There, right here. What's being accessed and when.
Something to make sure we don't do create a conflict.
Yeah. It's a little challenging to follow.
Well, once we get the website, then we can go to the dates and stuff. I think it'll make it a lot simpler.
Of course, I wonder if there's any formatting that could be done in the meantime to make it a little bit easier. Okay. That'd be great. And yeah, okay.
So I got
Citizen speak.
One thing, just to add on, you mentioned that you're gonna get, there's a new pole for the Housatonic Park. Is it up by the school? Oh, okay.
It's down between near the restroom area where the.
Okay, well, that's great, because we had the party in the park a week ago, and Eric we had huge generators,
Yeah.
which kept running out of gas, so, you know, and that's real good that we would have a source to plug in.
To bring power and internet there will be a stainless steel box, like a traffic control box, that's inside the road, that size, and open it up, there'll be a panel inside, and there'll be different size outlets. So you got a band or you got something, you can plug different.
Yeah, no, that's great to have that.
Everything will be done up at or out at Lake Mansfield.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good.
Okay, I have a lot of issues, but I want to go, citizen speak. Anybody who is a citizen, do you need to speak? Evidently not. Okay, so a couple of things. Number one, just so you know, we got a call from Kate Bailey of Berkshire Grown. They want to do a training for the new farmer market managers in the town hall Thursday morning from 10 to 12. They want to practice setting up a table. Would that interfere with anything that we have planned? I didn't see anything on the thing. Do you guys have a problem with that?
In the top in here?
No.
Park.
The town hall park.
The one thing I'm not caring is parking. So, I mean,
How many were you gonna park?
yeah, I
Okay,
think if
I
they
got it.
if they got 10 cars, you're probably okay. If they got 30 cars, you probably got a problem.
I'll call her tonight. That's easy enough. Okay, great. We also, I went to a, webinar with the National Fitness Center, which Steve and I went up and looked at in Lee last year. There's a grant available of approximately $50,000, but the total cost is about 180, meaning that we'd have to come up with 130. I sent you all the link so you could look at it. We can discuss that at some point. I just don't see where we're gonna find 130,000. There is a spot over by the Dewey School that would be a great spot for it. There's only like 38 by 68, something like that. But I wanted you guys to just see it. And if you want to go in on the webinar, you can, but it's expensive. It's where we come up with 130 for it, I don't know. But I sent that to you because I get stuff like that. And I thought it was important that you guys had some idea. There was another thought that came up with the redo of Memorial Field that we may want to move the flagpole and move the plaques. The thought came that there was an entertainment of an idea that CPA could do it, but you can't because it's not historical and it's whatever. But I think that may be something that we, now that the Memorial Field is done, that we may want to think about moving the flagpole and moving that plaque so it's more centrally located down behind the backstop. I'm not saying we need to do it. I'm just saying that's an option, and also the cost of doing things. I don't think we should. I think you could probably fundraise for that if somebody thought it was a good idea, and also the rededication of that field. There's been movement afoot to dedicate the new field to some people. Charlie Plunges name has come up. John Lucy, some other people. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm throwing this out here for people to start to think about.
Probably go down and look at the plaques, and that may change your mind about whether it should be. I mean, Soldiers and Sales Memorial Park, it would be nice to have the plaques behind the backstop. The flag, not so much, because it's on a follow pole and it's kind of a normal place for the flag. But the plaques, I mean, the park was dedicated, and I think maybe putting something down there, if we carefully do it, not dedicating the field, but putting people's names down there who we thank for preserving the field.
Right, Charlie being one,
Charlie being one, John Lucy. Oh, yeah. So, but I think we just have to be a little careful about it because the field was dedicated for a certain reason. But the plaques are really, really special, and they should go somewhere where people actually see them.
Right. I mean, the other thing is we may be able to come up with something to put on the back of the dugout. That dugout on the Bridge Street side, that may be somebody paint it really nicely and whatever. It may be able to be that. So I think it's a good idea. Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all know where it is, but it's actually in the Railroad Street Youth Parking lot.
Correct.
It's where, and it's a stone wall about this high that makes a planter bed. That's out there now. And that was donated labor that built that back in the 80s. I guess the guy was talking to told me he actually built it.
Yeah, it was really nice, but it's
beautifully
its location is what the problem is.
Right. So I had a couple people look at it, and I'm just waiting to see an order of magnitude cost of what it would take to rebuild that in a more conducive spot.
And that says dedicated to veterans and.
No, I'll send you all pictures. I have some.
It's also when we redid that skate park.
There's two plaques in it. There's a Soldiers Memorial one that Mr. Gibbons claimed said it's missing, and that's where I actually found it out there. The Historic Commission was looking for it, so we ended up finding it out there.
Awesome. It was actually found when we did Memorial Field. It was buried somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we put it out there, so it was prominent, but it's not as prominent as it should be.
Sure.
If it was behind the backstop along, and then it's got the dedication of the skate park, maybe that stays there and the soldiers and moves to behind the backstop. I think that we need to just start talking about it, because I think with the amount of time and effort and resource that's gone into that field, it should stand out. It should look sharp. The plaque and all that stuff.
There's a second plaque in there. It must have been from when you redid the field
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah.
But I think your guys' names are not.
I don't know, could be.
Yeah. Something just to keep in mind too is maybe if this field takes off and you get semi-pro, a snack shack or announcer's booth or something behind the backstop or something in that area. So let's just think about those type of things. And if you don't mind, we're planning to do is painting the dugouts, because that wasn't in the contract. We're gonna paint the one on the third baseline white, and we're gonna paint the one on the first baseline maroon. Like, I guess the maroon and white is what the painted teams were, and we're gonna do the same thing down.
Am I allowed to come in now?
Sure. Sure. We'll do the same thing down Memorial Field. We'll get our sprayer out and highway department to spray. If you don't mind, I'd like to see what that plaque says. If it says soldiers and sailors Memorial Field, I'd like to have a nice looking sign made up for that, the back of the dugout.
Correct.
Yeah, because most people only know it as Memorial Field, have no idea why it has that name. And I think it would be great.
Okay, so I'll work on that as long as there's no objections.
No.
So
I think that'd be
right,
good. Yeah.
But I think that, I was just in a park in California, and they had, the dedication is, it's set. I mean, I think that it's a Veterans Memorial Park, but you can have a plaque on the side, thanks to all these people who've helped out. And, the list on this one plaque was quite long, but it's kind of a nice, I think it's a nice way to like really highlight people who've done all this stuff.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think
That's the whole
I
point.
think Steve's idea is a good idea to put on and look at this. The way it's designed is how you're gonna walk down Bridge Street and then the sidewalk.
We're gonna be out of here. For sure.
I can park it over here.
So the sidewalk goes into the park, so everybody's gonna walk out that first section before they go left or right.
Where's the entrance?
We're gonna be done very soon, just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
down Bridge Street to the co-op.
It's
Yes.
just past, behind the first bug out there. You go down Bridge Street, the walking path goes down, it's concrete till it gets to the bottom of the hill. And then
Question for the commission. We have a walking path now around the baseball field. It has been brought to my attention that can we have dogs walk around there?
You're not gonna stop it.
On a leash.
There's no way you're gonna stop that.
Well,
It's like I swim over to the beach at Lake Mansfield every day, and every day there are people over there. And there's, I don't think there should be, but there's gonna be really difficult to.
I understand it may be difficult, but I don't wanna say it's okay, because all of a sudden now. We have a field, and then people bring their dogs, and people don't know how to take care of. They don't pick up. People do.
So there's two things. So one,
They got them running and.
Yeah.
because it's offensive, but one is Bill is correct. Because the people who will disobey the signs are the people who are now not picking up after their dogs anyways. But I think it gives us, if we don't have any signs up and we say it's okay.
Right.
Then we have no control whatsoever. We can't call the dog officer, the animal control officer, the police can't do anything. No one can just go up and say to someone, you really need to pick up and you're not supposed to have them here. Because if we don't have any signs up, they're gonna say, well, there are no signs, but we can do what we want.
I agree.
So Julie?
Sorry, so that the walking trail, is it like far from like the outfield, like far enough, like, no?
That's part of the
Around
outfield.
the
actually.
Part of there,
It's
okay.
it's a warning track to the outfield, which is what
It's all part of the,
Yeah.
Okay,
so out there it's 10 or 11 feet,
mhm,
and then the rest of it's like 5 feet.
okay. I was just thinking that if it's a separate trail, it might be nice to just kind of like have it planted so that people can use it as a walking trail while the baseball game is.
it's all part of the game.
Yeah,
It's all part of
You
the.
could be part of the game if you're out there when.
So did we just come to the conclusion to put signs up that say no
Yeah.
dogs?
I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know that we
Commission
have. That
to
was my
make-
opinion.
That was your opinion. I just was asking the
To
question.
make a decision on how we wanna handle it. I think it's something that we should
I
do.
think Olympia Meadows there's no dogs.
Correct.
Except on the walking path, they have to be leashed.
Yes, and I had a thought on that. I'd like to suggest for us is that I think that there's a wonderful area that could be designated.
Can we
in
stay
Olympia
on
Meadows.
this topic first?
Yeah, it's
And then
about
go to-
dogs.
I know, I wanna take care of this first. I know where you're going and I think it needs to be discussed. But I think that let's decide whether we're gonna do that. I don't wanna get into a dog park now with this.
I was, well, whatever. I wanted to say that sightseeing area. There would be a
Memorial
good-
Field?
What?
Yep.
No, not at Memorial Field, at Olympia Meadows, beyond the Little League center field. There's a wonderful area beyond the soccer goal where dogs could be exercised with tennis balls, frisbees, fly ball, and all that, you know, it's away from everything, semi-contained, but if we could just sort of look into a designated area that if people wanted to bring their dogs and have them to get some exercise, that would be a suitable place. When I looked at it, I think that would work. I mean, you could, you know, cause I have dogs that they don't want to be in a fenced-in area. They go after tennis balls and frisbees and, you know, the 50-yard run is great for them, and this area would
Where the
accommodate that.
footballs play?
No,
It's past,
the outfield of, I know what you mean.
yeah, towards the fairgrounds, south end. So past the soccer field and everything, it's all in the back,
Way down in the corner.
way down in the corner, you know?
It does apply because if we could say to, I mean, it's like, I'm seeing like an opportunity of education to say, to put up signs and say, please, we've dedicated this field we feel strongly we're gonna keep this field looking good. Help us. If you're gonna, if you have a dog, make sure you clean it up after yourself. But if you really want to run your dog, take it down to the dog park and run it down at the dog park. I mean, we could kind of kill two birds with one stone.
Well, that's what I
Three
was
birds.
So the dog, let's separate these two. The
That's
dog
what I'm
park
trying to say.
has been a 10-year thing for this town.
Mhm.
There's a lot of liability.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that we're not gonna solve that tonight. I
Right,
think what we can solve tonight, and I think is what Karen is saying, if we want to put signs down there and go with, at first, your dogs must be leashed, you must pick up after them. And try that to start with.
Yeah.
And then in a year, the less optimistic me will say we'll change the signs to no dogs.
Yeah.
But at least if we want to try it and say dogs must be leashed and you must pick up after them.
So when my dog pees, in a couple weeks, there's a yellow spot there.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I think we should
They don't
just
pick
say
it up.
no
No
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah, I put a lot of money
Yeah,
into that.
$500,000 in this
There's-
project.
Because they can walk dogs on that river walk, there's other places.
I agree with you.
And the other thing I think is very interesting, I went and talked to the people about the Egremont Dog Park. Do you realize the amount of problems that they've had there? The amount of people that have been injured?
Small
There's
dogs,
been a whole-
big dogs.
People have been injured by dogs taking them out. I think I have a real problem. I was a dog owner for a long time. If you wanna run your dog, I get it. But I don't wanna put town money into a dog park. I just don't find in this part of the world, I realize Egremont did, but if you go talk to the town fathers and mothers in Egremont, they're like, we are really sorry we did this.
So can I make a motion?
It's a mess.
Can I make a motion that we put up signs
Right.
that say no dogs allowed on Memorial Field, on the whole area, not just the field, but the
walking
park,
path.
the whole park.
Yeah.
Second.
Sure.
Anybody else? I think it's the prudent thing to do down there. We spent $500,000. I just cannot see it letting dogs run around there. We're gonna vote on this. Any other discussion? None? Mr. Gibbons?
I wholeheartedly endorse Steve's motion.
Okay, good.
Yes.
You,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tom,
yes.
Sir Devin,
Yes.
Terry, Karen, yes.
Yes.
Alana,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yes.
Unanimous. Okay.
So one other thing maybe you can share about Memorial Field, I think it was Friday morning or something. The plans show 2 handicap signs to be installed
Right.
down at Railroad Street. in that parking lot. There's already 2 handicap signs, so the phone started ringing, there's no place for normal people to park with, then I don't have a, you know. So I checked with Foresight, I'm like, where did this come from? Because a lot of this was designed before I came here.
Yeah.
And all they did is have a note from Sean saying 2 handicap signs down there, so we put bags over them temporarily, but I think I'm just gonna take them out.
Yeah.
Because there's.
They ended up with 5 handicap, we had 5 parking spots, 5 handicap slots. Railroad Street was on the phone with me. We did it. I was like,
At least you didn't paint the blacktop yet.
yeah, we'll get there, we'll get
Do
there.
you want my guess? The 2 you meant were the 2 that are already down there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't need 4.
Yeah.
it was just,
Yeah.
it was one of those 3-hour jobs. It was like, oh my God.
Okay. If someone calls one of you guys.
Yeah,
ask you what-
we appreciate that.
Back and forth. The other thing is I sent you all an email probably 2 or 3 weeks ago about, we had some benches and picnic tables. Julie responded, none of you guys did. Where do you want them?
Where do we need them?
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you guys first. That's why I was asking you as Parks Commissioners, where do you want benches and or picnic tables?
I think whichever park, has the black metal benches, they should be replaced. Because I think the benches that we just built, I think are just like beautiful and flat. The other ones just, you can't really rest a child or a cup or anything, you can't even sit comfortably, so I would just replace.
The black graded benches.
Yeah, I would replace them. I know I would replace them with Dewey, I would replace them with Giggle, for sure. They're really, really uncomfortable. And it was like, really like torture when my child was young and I had to use that park. Also, I think they're just very charming. They're beautiful. They match the ones that are already out here in front of town
You
hall.
talk about the cement pump, the cement,
with the wood, yeah. I would really do that.
the Aberdale specials.
Castronova.
Castronova, right?
So there's 6 of them made right now that haven't been spoken for. 3 of them I was gonna put up on West and Lewis, because we're formalizing those bus stops up there, put a concrete pad in. There's 4 actual bus stops up there. One isn't big enough to take a bench. So we were gonna put 3 up there. So I still have 3 more. There's probably 6 or 8 picnic tables made and not placed.
How about Old Maids?
So the question is, Old Maids is closed. We voted to close it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. It's
Yes,
a
we
park.
did. We closed it.
We closed the activities that the town was sponsoring. It's still a town park. It's open for the public.
Okay, so can we go back to I'll go back to the minutes.
All right, but I do believe that
No, we
it's
closed
open.
it as a park.
So that means nobody can go there and walk on it.
That's correct. And when
No, I don't think,
people can walk on it, but it's not there as an official park. We withdrew that designation.
no, I think we should revisit that.
We can, but we did withdraw.
Please.
That's fine.
That's,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not saying
But
I'm for or against it, Tom. I'm
No,
just saying before we start advocating for something that
Right.
isn't open as a park.
well, I'd like to know that.
Was this some time ago?
Yeah. Part of the problem with Old Maids was you're either in for a pound or out for a pound. If you're gonna put in benches and places to sit and stuff like that, then we have to maintain it as a park. It is closed, Tom. I know you may not believe it, but it is.
All right.
If you want to revisit that, I
Yeah,
think that's
I would
fine.
like to, because I think it's a great place to have a picnic. And you
I
got
don't
the
know about
water,
that. I just think we have to be in or out.
well,
Anyway, the parks that are mostly used, like Eagle Park, Grove, I think those benches would be fantastic there. They're just more comfortable. I think the black ones are just like not.
And they're gonna make more by the
Yeah.
time we open Old Maids.
But the benefit of that thing is that
you ever
can
visited Old Maids?
Yeah, exactly. But I would say definitely replace the black ones because they're just uncomfortable.
Well, I'm not gonna go and replace anything at this point because, first of all, they were expensive. What do you want us to do with them? Throw them out? No.
But I think recycle them. They're just not useful. They're not useful.
Well,
They're
they
not
may not be
aesthetically
useful to
beautiful.
you, but I've seen a lot of people sit on it.
Yeah, I sat on them too, but they're really uncomfortable. And also we want something that's aesthetically pleasing too. I think the town is like littered with signs, littered with black benches. And they're not comfortable. I think we should like actively make a kind of plan where like everything's kind of cohesive. There's comfort, there's beauty, there's shade. I think we should like really think about that. You just don't like just buy the first thing in a catalog and just put them out there. I mean,
Julie, this was done
I know,
years
I know,
ago.
but there's no reason that we should be living for 1,000 years with those benches.
I'm not,
I think, yeah,
wow.
no, I don't think that we should shy away just because we paid for them and they're there, that we should just not actively make a plan that will benefit everyone. Just, you know, aesthetically, we should take like Stockbridge as an example. The shade, the beautiful benches, I mean, it just draws people. And as a user of the parks, when I go to Lake Mansfield, those teak benches are so comfortable. I could just stay there.
A lot of
all
those black
day.
benches are on Main Street and they look fine. They do look nice and you don't have people
They're not
sitting.
comfortable.
Were those benches part of the reconstruct, Main Street reconstruction
Yes,
project?
yes, yes,
Okay.
but it could have been done better. I just think, I think they could have been done. And
So let's let Joe just, he has 6 left. Let's,
Put them where they need them. That's why I wanted you people to say, oh, well, it'd be great if we had them here.
and if
That's
we
what-
move around some of the other ones, so that people have a choice. And that's fine too. I mean, they don't have to stay there forever.
Right.
Hey, Joe, have you talked to Christine Ward about, like up in Lake Mansfield, having some of those around there?
We had one of the things, we talked about, that Lake Mansfield, I think with Christine and also with, Chris Rumble was, let's get Lake Mansfield finished and see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Because
Then put
there was talk about additional barbecues up there and things like that, so we're kind of waiting to see how it all pans out and
That
then
makes sense.
kind of see what we need where.
Yeah, that's
one of
great.
those points that you made, like with the fishing and just like those little,
To put a bench there would be
those would be
nice
so
too.
nice.
You know, you're gonna need 10 or 12 benches up there and they're gonna be built, but I think they wanna, it's sort of like they don't put pathways in at parks. They let it sit and people will walk the shortest distance and then you put the pathway in type thing. So I think that's kind of what they need to do. See how that's gonna shake out.
So yeah, I think like Mansfield, something will be added there as time goes on for sure. So we'll just, we bought the molds for these and when the guys have a rain day or, you know, sometime before they go out in the morning, then you can mix up a couple bags of concrete and pour it, you know.
It's awesome.
So kind of just using everybody's time a little more efficient.
Well,
Can I ask one question about Lake Mansfield? I was under the impression, just from going to the meetings, like the design meetings, that the path, the walking path was going to be at the chorus. Why are they now at asphalt?
There, well, maybe you did hear porous. There is a porous parking area up above. So in the new blacktop parking lot, it's like the south and the east corner. I'm not sure what, but again, that was designed before, so I'm not sure.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think one of the major issues with that path, when it was asphalt, was that the cold, the heaving and the resettling was the main
Problem.
structural problem for the asphalt. It kept cracking, so.
So it's happened. So to create more pores and stuff like that. So it's plantings.
so it was made asphalt because, the porous stuff they thought would go into the lake again. And they wanted to try to keep as much sediment away from the lake as possible. So the asphalt acts as a barrier. So.
Good. Okay, citizen speak.
Gary did that.
I know, but I'm just, God knows
Yeah.
things change. Anybody else? You got anything, Julie?
No.
Bill? Tom?
No.
For Debbie? Terry?
One quick thing, I was, having a discussion with a couple of gentlemen from the Houstonic VFW the other day. And they have in their basement, I think they said it was a picture frame. It's like 3 foot by 2 foot. It's, Houstonic veterans from World War I and World War II. They said that it hung in the post office for years, till the last time they redid the post office and the post office asked them to take it out. They were looking to see if they could hang it in the Hoosie Dome. Seeing that it is the Houstonic Memorial Building. So I took a quick look. I wouldn't want to see it go into the gym, but I was thinking down that hallway where the bathrooms are.
Sure.
There's plenty of space there. They could.
Why don't you, I would suggest that they work with Joe to find the proper spot for them, Lucy, don't.
Yeah, that's great.
And the other thing is it probably should be lit.
If you see it and it's that fancy that we don't want to disappear, we can probably put it in a case.
All right, well, I'll give them they were supposed to send me a picture, but they didn't.
Can we put it next to the, is there a memorial for the, Adams Buds? Isn't there a memorial outside there? Would that be a good place to, you know, have, I mean,
May
it's a
not be
thought.
weatherproof.
Well,
I'd be worried about what.
it's something that has to be protected.
Sure,
Yeah.
you walk in the main doors in the vestibule, there's a trophy case on the right hand side, is there anything on the left hand side?
The
Fire
alarm
alarm
system.
panel and all that stuff.
How big is it?
They told me about 3 foot by 2 foot.
Oh, I bet you could put it on that wall where that alarm panel is.
Yeah, just
From between the panel and the.
I'll have them get in touch with you.
Yours?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm sure he's on it.
His grandfather's on.
I wouldn't
He's a
surprise
World
me.
War I veteran, yeah.
That's.
He's also listed on the one out that got moved from there.
So I will contact them
Yeah.
and tell them.
I know. One other thing, Wheeler and Taylor has approached the town and is willing to put up a scoreboard in Memorial Field. And I said, until we're done, we're not doing anything, but
I would say that that's a terrific offer and accepted.
I'm going,
Yeah.
I'm not
No, the
accepting,
board.
I'm bringing it to you
Yeah.
guys and I will.
Put it on
talk
the
to Scott.
agenda and,
Yeah.
I would accept it.
Carolyn, put it on the agenda for next month. 'Cause
Solar powers don't have to run wires.
I don't know, I think that.
Now we have to dig up the whole outfit now.
I think what we gotta put it on top with neon lights on top of the backstop. Whatever, find out where it could go. I'm sure there's a spot it could be placed, you know, on
It
that
usually goes
wall.
on the outfield fence,
Yeah,
typically where it would go.
the problem is the outfield fence. I don't know, let them figure it
Yeah,
out.
they
I
can
just,
figure it out.
I'm just trying to get a sense of the board.
Put it on the agenda so we can accept their offer. and-
Okay, all right, I will mention that to Mr. Rowe. All right, any other concerns, issues?
I would just end it with, on the scoreboard, it would be very nice if you put the sign said Soldier and Sailor Memorial.
Perfect.
So you can see it from the road.
I think
Would their
if they
name
wanna
be
write
on
the
it
check.
too, though?
Wheeler and Taylor probably on the bottom, they would.
Oh, God, yeah, oh, yeah, they're
Fine,
gonna
fine,
definitely.
They're not gonna do it for not a little bit of.
It's gonna become Wheeler and Taylor Field.
No.
No.
Could we put on the agenda also revisiting the old maids or what? we've
Yeah.
done with it?
Yep, Carolyn, please, if you'd be so kind, put that on,
Thank you.
great. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second,
All in
third,
favor, Paul,
aye.
Yes, yes.
Julie, Bill, Tom.
Yes.
So Debbie,
Yes.
Terry,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Alana, Steve, Karen. Okay, 6:15 on the screws, there you go.
Thank you.